All right, we're on this 2017 Honda Civic. We have the field piece hooked up outside. And as we go through, as you can see, I've been recording for you. I actually had to restart. Here I'm at 2 minutes. This is when I hit the hot air. I turned it from cold to hot. And you see it went from 40 degrees right up to almost 100 degrees. And I immediately turned it back down. And you see the temperature comes down. Inside the cabin, 59 degrees. I'm taking that temperature right here where I have it on the recycle. So I'm taking the temperature of the air getting sucked in on the recycle. So we're under a low load, no sun, we're inside. Now if we look at outside, oh, go back, did I just erase everything? I just erased everything. God damn it. All right, if we go back to outside without erasing everything, you can see, oh, enter air. Things just don't want to work out for me. I had it taken from, it won't grab outside. Why won't it grab outside? Okay, so I know it's 80 degrees outside and it just won't grab it now. It must be off. Okay, so it's 80 degrees out in front of the condenser. Taken by the temperature sensor, that little tiny wire right there going in front of the condenser right now. And let's re-data graft again. Let it start grafting. You'll see it, there it goes, it's starting. There's the high side pressure at 108 psi on the high side. Just filled up, brand new condenser, OEM condenser. 29 psi on the low side. Let's retake our temperature on the inside again since I erased it. Come on. Damn it, I did it again. I have double gloves on. I got to take my gloves off. This just screws everything up. Okay, do that again. Data graft again. I don't do retakes. So if I don't get it all in one shot, I just give up on the video and don't do it, or I continue doing it. If you want somebody who edits, go watch some guy who edits. I don't edit. One day I'll get there. Okay, there we go. Now, let's go off idle on 2,000 RPMs. So you know how the guys go, okay, we're gonna shake that can and the can is not going in good. So I'm gonna put the RPMs up to 2,000 RPM so I could suck the refrigerant in faster. So here's the low side pressure, we're at 28 PSI. Here's the high side pressure, we're at 107 PSI. So let's get the idle up. Let's go up to 2,000 RPMs. There we go, 21, 22, there we go. Now it should just suck in that refrigerant because the low side just went so low that it'll suck the refrigerant in faster, because that's what the can guys say. They whack off the cans and they put up the engine RPMs and they say it's gonna suck it in. Well, what we got here? We were at 28. We went up to 31. We should come back down to 28. Starting to smooth out there a little bit. Let's see if I could, there we go. And as you can see, I'm still at 2,000 RPMs. And look at our low side. I'm at 2,000 RPMs, but am I going lower than 28? Well, before I put it up to 2,000 RPMs, I was at 107 PSI right there. And I'm at 106 PSI. And you can see it's 2,000 RPMs. There it goes, 2,000 RPMs. And if we could get this to focus. Well, I don't see the high side going up. According to the YouTube and Facebook experts, when you put the RPMs up, my high side should be jetting up and my low side should be going down and helping me whack off the can and just suck it in faster. Let's see what happened to the temperature. Let's come over here. Well, we see before I put it up to 2,000 RPMs, you see I got all the way down to 38.5. But after I hit 2,000 RPMs, as you can see right there, 2,000 RPMs, we went up to 41, down to 39, up to 41, down to 39, up to 41, down, and I see 39, down to 39. So I actually lost 1 degree of temperature from 38 by going up to 2,000 RPMs. That's not what the whack-off guys, or those guys who go by pressures, they diagnose by pressures. That's not what the pressure whack-off guys and the guys who read bubbles, isn't that not supposed to be what's happening right now? Shouldn't my pressure should just be taken off because I'm at 2,000 RPMs. But what are we averaging out at? We're averaging out at, there's idle, there's 2,000 RPMs. What do you see? There's idle, 28 PSI. There's 2,000 RPMs, 29 PSI. So those guys who go by bubbles in a sight glass, go by raising RPMs, and you're going to go by a pressure, or they have the little whack-off can that has the green, you're full or not. Whether I'm at idle or whether I'm at 2,000 RPMs, really not much difference. Software is taking over and commanding all the pressure. So let's take this thing out of recycle because I have that temperature there. Let's look at it. Well, while we're here, let's look at there's our superheat, and you can see we're not going to vapor saturate until we hit 30 degrees, and we're up there at 37. So our superheat is 34. Oh, this has an internal heat exchanger, but I'm reading the superheat as it comes out of the evaporator. I'm before this heat exchanger. Subcooling 11, 9. It's down at the outlet of the condenser right now. So let's go look at my fittings out and see where I'm hooked up right now. Pay attention to that superheat, 34. Let's see if this makes a big difference when I move where I'm taking the sear. You see where I'm taking the superheat? Right out of the expansion valve, right out of the evaporator right there. So let's move that. We were at 34. Here is the internal heat exchanger. The internal heat exchanger ends right there. So let's take this after the internal heat exchanger. Now let's see what it is. We got before and after. So now we are on the other side of the, see we're back at idle, we go down to 38 degrees. So we put the engine RPMs up to 2,000, we lose temperature by 1 degree. Let's get back up here. Superheat 32, but this is at idle. Let's get back up to 2,000 RPM, see what happens. 2,000, there you go, 2,000 RPMs. Let's hold it there a minute. Let's see what happens. It was 34 degrees superheat before. Let it stabilize. You can see we're right there. Not much more. Going up a little bit, 37. About 3 degrees, 2 degrees rise. Now I've shown you other vehicles where it's like 10 or 15 degrees of extra added superheat. Look, it went below. I just took my foot off the gas. And you will get different results on different cars under different ambient conditions. So you cannot use a rule of thumb. I'll see you guys later. I hope somebody learned something off of that on some of these vehicles that are computer controlled, hitting the gas and going up to 2,000 RPMs on this vehicle did basically nothing to the high side, nothing to the low side, and it actually lost 1 degree out of the dash temperature wise on this vehicle under these operating conditions. See you guys later. I've shown you other videos where computer controlled vehicles, the low side will go all the way down to 20 or 21, but the high side will not move. I've showed you on other vehicles where the low side will not move when you go up to 2,000 RPMs, but the high side skyrockets. Then I've shown you other computer controlled vehicles with the same, variable displacement compressors where the high side and the low side, the high side goes up, the low side goes down like a normal fixed piston compressor. I've shown you those videos. Then on other variable displacement compressors, I have shown you where the high side goes down and the low side goes up. They go together when you give them more RPMs. So those wise guys out there who do the whack-off can, judge by bubbles, or they diagnose by pressure, tell me where that rule of thumb is that's going to follow some shit piece of paper that they go by and follow religiously like it's a Bible. See you guys later. Have a nice day.